Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Phumelele Zwende with your technology and social media news. Remember to wear that face mask if you are in crowded spaces, sanitize and wash your hands frequently. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram News Network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, our Twitter poll is asking you if you think the world has enough space for another platform that can allow content creators to share their videos. This, as OnlyFans has said, that they are moving away from adult content and they now want to focus on content creators. The results of that are coming up later in the program. Firstly, here's what's coming up tonight. We have details on how WhatsApp is becoming a payment and banking platform. We meet a woman who is a high flyer in the technology sector. And in our conversation, we chat about how you can keep kids in school even if you've decided that they shouldn't return to physical classrooms. When WhatsApp started, even before Facebook bought them, it was a chat app. It's been that up until now. Now it's becoming a payment platform too. WhatsApp was founded as a chat application in 2009. Facebook bought them 4 years later. As time went on, there was an addition of pictures, memes, videos, voice notes, and even video calls. It's now a platform to do banking and purchase goods like KFC.
Once they've added us, they simply just type in hi, and they can follow the prompts. For now, we've got collection activated as a channel, which means a customer can browse the full KFC menu on chat, select the meal that they would like to purchase. They can share their PIN. We will then feed back to the customer the nearest KFCs to them, and they can complete their order.
Some banks allow payments to be made with the use of the platform. This has been done by Absa in Kenya with their WhatsApp banking. Nedbank in South Africa has enabled a feature to pay for goods purchased.
A solution called Money Message, which is perfect for small informal businesses where you don't have to be a registered business or have a business account to get payments through Money Message. So any personal or savings account can actually be linked to Money Message, and you're able to instantly create and send bills to any of your customers. You're able to link this to a bank account if you have one. You're also able to make secure payments using MasterCard. So essentially, you're also able to send QR codes and scan QR codes as well. All this is done via a channel that all of us use on a day-to-day basis, and that is WhatsApp.
When WhatsApp was created, it wasn't clear how it was to make money. They've never pushed advertising.
There seems to be some degree of wanting to honor that. And therefore, it's very interesting that they've decided to go down this route, but primarily payments and being able to put in place payment structures for many unbanked individuals via the WhatsApp platform is going to be a game changer, is going to reap a large reward for Facebook.
With a lot of our details online, many worry that their details might be taken off the platform and shared elsewhere.
Is we do know that no one's immune. Even the largest banking institutions around the world can be hacked and details can be stolen. One of the things that I do believe is that all of these institutions, Facebook included, are putting the best measures in place to protect this data.
We've got an extensive fraud detection system that runs all these payment capabilities. So we make sure that we're up to date with that, but also we make sure that we put extra mechanisms and protocols to ensure that the data is first and foremost encrypted, which means it's difficult to get through or to understand as well. And we make sure that any of the platforms with which we are working with, all that data is stored safely in servers that are accredited and approved by our regulator as well.
Those that have enabled WhatsApp payment features on their platforms say user details are safe.
So I think it's a very great opportunity to avoid queues in the bank, to avoid people being mugged, to avoid a lot of things. And what's nice about it is that WhatsApp is end-to-end encrypted. So that means whatever you communicate with the bank is private, it's between you two.
If you can use WhatsApp order, i-order lakho ulithola fast. There are no delays.
I can use that to avoid the corona things, all those things. That's how we can keep the social distance by ordering online, all those things.
In India, Axis Bank has reported 1 million users on their WhatsApp banking. When the looting happened in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng recently, a Samsung warehouse was also vandalized and stuff stolen from it in Durban. But Samsung has now announced that they will be blocking all those TV sets that were stolen from that venue in Durban.
South Africa recently experienced politically driven unrest that quickly turned to a looting spree. The criminal activities largely affected the Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal provinces. Most looters like this one got their hands on electronics and home appliances. But for those that managed to steal Samsung smart TV sets, might be disappointed to learn that they will not be able to use them to full capacity.
We were also quite badly impacted in KwaZulu-Natal. Our Cato Ridge warehouse down there was quite badly looted, and we lost a lot of televisions and in fact some home appliances as well. Really terrible days for us. We realized quite quickly though that we had a feature. It was almost really a hidden feature for us because it wasn't something that we had really considered in the past. But TV block is a feature that comes with all Samsung televisions. And we moved quite quickly to understand how we can block those TVs. We figured out that if we've got the serial numbers, which of course we had out of the warehouse, we could put that onto our Samsung server. And of course, if someone connects that to the internet, it immediately blocks that particular television.
Van Leer said that this feature can also be utilized by consumers who have prospects of losing their smart TVs in a burglary.
Every single TV that Samsung sells has the TV block function. When you install it as a consumer, immediately it's activated, okay? That doesn't mean it stops any function. It quickly checks that the serial number is a legit serial number, and immediately it's activated. If that TV were to be stolen from your home, for argument's sake, or any consumer's home, they could contact us if they had a valid police report to say it was stolen and they had the serial number. We could easily add that onto the server and block that TV as it was connected to the internet.
We also approached Joburgers to find out what they thought about this blocking function.
Say for example, they steal my TV, I'm able to report it, and then maybe they can even put a tracker on it, and then we are even easily able to locate the TV. Or I have peace of mind that at least if my product is stolen, no one is going to use it.
It's a good idea in terms of progress in the technology world, where a security feature can be installed in your smart TV.
It's not necessary because there's always a way for people to if they block the TV, there's always a way for them to open it.
Though a great security feature, some say that it also has some loopholes that need fixing.
It's a feature that we've seen on smartphones and other mobile devices for many years in the past, and in the same breath, there's no denying that those that are looking to resell these items into the black market are going to find ways to bypass these blocks as well, even with the home appliances. Then again, this block feature is highly dependent on the device being connected to a internet network, which we know in many cases, for those people in much more rural, informal settlements that do not have access to the internet. So this feature likely won't be activated up until they are connected to a internet network. So it's more of a catch-22, I think, for now at the moment, unless this feature comes standard where it's a must for you when you start up the device for the first time. You must be connected to a internet network in order to make use of it or to access features of the appliance itself. It's a great leap, but definitely there are some loopholes and some patches that need to be fixed before we can fully embrace this feature.
Following our interview, Samsung contacted us to clarify that the block function will not only work when the smart TV is connected to an internet network.
Throughout Women's Month, we've been meeting various women who are making an impact in the tech sector. Today, we decided to check in with Veliswa Boya from Amazon Web Services.
Hi, I'm Veliswa Boya. I am currently a senior developer advocate. I'm a mom of 3. I live in Johannesburg. They always talk about seeing people who look like you. You would not believe that what sparked this for me was seeing a brochure with a woman on it sitting in front of a computer. And I thought, okay, I can do that as well. So what we do as developer advocates, you work with the developer community. So anyone out there, it's not necessarily working within enterprises. So anyone who's consuming your services, you work with them, you help them learn those and know how to work with them. And I like the fact that this role, I enable others. I help people learn, I help people study and empower themselves for future roles that they might want to walk into. There are people who are trying to bring women in. There are women who want to be in. Where we actually are falling short, we still need to figure out. It's quite complex, but there's still, we don't have enough women in this space. Representation matters and diversity. We're building solutions that are for everyone. So it's very important that the people who build these solutions represent all the groups of people that we're actually building solutions for. We come in and then we don't stay. We need to figure out where do things go wrong, where do we fall off and why. And I think that is actually where we're starting to see a lot more women come in, but we don't seem to hang around for long enough. I get about the companies that we work for as well. They're looking to have women leaders, so sometimes they will take women out of being technical because they want you to put on the director or CIO path, which sometimes can take you away from being hands-on technical. I think for most of my career, I always was the only woman or the youngest or the only black woman in the team. Over time, I've seen more women come in, more people who look like me come in. That definitely has been a change. Women being aware that this is an option for them as well as a career, I think that's where it starts. And then once you're in, seeing prospects for yourself, find the networks, find people, find mentors. I've always had mentors in my life, I still do. I've got lots of mentors for different things. Find people who support you, people sometimes who will affirm even those things that you don't see about yourself. Last year, I was nominated as a hero, an AWS hero. And I was the first woman in Africa to be named a hero. And last year I was still the only one. And I used to say, I want to see more women being visible. And I think that would be the thing. More women being visible in the tech space. Sure, we've got jobs that we go to, but I want to see more of us becoming those thought leaders.
All right, today's SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we chat about how you can keep your children in school, even if you've made the decision that they should not go back this year. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Now, the school dropout rate has increased because of COVID-19 lockdowns, and this is in various countries all over the world and not just here in South Africa. Now, there needs to be a lot of initiatives that are getting kids who have stopped going to school back to the classroom, or rather getting education to those children. To discuss some of these issues with me now is Lindiwe Matlali, who is the CEO of Africa Teen Geeks. Lindiwe, hello, and thank you very much for being a part of our network. Maybe if we can start by telling us why the dropout rate has increased so much.
It could be for a lot of reasons. Maybe, with parents being worried about the COVID cases, because in the US, for example, we see now that a lot of children are now getting sick. So, but also, I think, especially with the older kids, there's been a high dropout rates, and something that was really expected. So, UNICEF did a research where they showed that a lot of children are not back at school. It is something that was really expected that it might happen the longer the schools are closed.
And what would you say needs to be done, Lindiwe?
there should be a lot of education. I think the communities themselves, need to be active, and local governments, and a lot of mobilization to make sure that children do go back to school, because we know that in our country, without education, you don't have a bright future. We have even some of the highest graduate unemployment, which is an issue. So if you don't have your matric, you can't even become a teller, So we need that has to be done, and these kids has to be encouraged and really showed the importance of education. It's just that all of us have to try and do our part. If you see a child that should be at school, of a school-going age that should be at school, you have to find out why and see if you can assist to make sure that the child does go back to school.
Lindiwe, can there be initiatives that get education to children who have not returned to the classroom, or maybe children who want to supplement what they're learning in the classroom?
We've done since the lockdown, where we created a lot of content that we are making available for free for children, even as a catch-up, on our YouTube channel, on our zero-rated Mizora platform. We also run Saturday classes that started last week, actually, for grade 10 to 12, focusing on STEM subjects to encourage, to help the kids to catch up and make sure that, especially for the grade 12, by the time they go to the matric camps, they would have at least completed the curriculum, but also as they study, to have a point of reference where they can go and get the content and as well as those lessons that can help them in their studying. So we're doing that in collaboration with UJ. So we've got even qualified teachers that are teaching every Saturday for grade 10 to 12 for all the STEM subjects.
So if I'm a parent of a child who needs to participate in this, or maybe if it's the child themselves that needs to participate in this, what needs to happen? How can one log on?
We are on mizora.co.za, but they can go to africatingeeks.co.za to register for the Saturday classes, because that's where they get the links and their personalized links to the class. And the classes on Saturday are live. So they are able to ask teachers questions, and they're interactive. So they are able to ask any questions they have. And then, during the week, then they can go back and go through that material as well. I mean, we, on the final stages of digitizing all the STEM question papers for the past 3 years, so that by, we're hoping that by October, they can be able to take past question papers and get instant feedback on how they would have done in that exam, but also tell them exactly where they need to focus on, to do better. That will be available for grade 12s. But all of that is available on mizora.co.za, and they can go to africatingeeks.co.za to register for our classes. So they don't need data to be able to access our content specifically on Mizora, on the Mizora platform. And on our context, the majority of the children that Africa Teen Geeks targets in townships and rural schools, they cannot afford the data. I mean, we know that data in South Africa is actually one of the most expensive in the world. So as long as that's the case, there'll be a lot of kids with all this content that is available that are unable to access it just purely because they don't have the data. So going to our on the Mizora platform, they can get all those videos and content for free. And those who do have data can use our YouTube channel as well. I mean, we've seen a lot of growth. Like, for example, we see now over about 16,000 views a day, even while during the kids are back at school. And on weekends, we see a huge spike. So we have already over 860,000 views on our YouTube channel. So we know that a lot of children are using our content to supplement their learning.
All right, it sounds good. Thank you very much, Lindiwe Matlali. Lindiwe Matlali, the CEO of Africa Teen Geeks. And with that, let's take a short break. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Welcome back. Here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the technology space.
Within an hour of being fitted with a robotic extra thumb, pianists can learn to play with all 11 digits, according to researchers in London. The team strapped a robotic third thumb to the right hand of 12 people, 6 piano players and 6 non-players, to test how their brains would cope with the new digit.
It came out of my own passion for piano that I wondered, what happens if I have an extra finger? And so it started really with the robotics challenge. Can we build a robotic thumb that can, sit on the opposite side of the hand, of the right hand, and play music with it? Can we actually just do it? Can we learn to do that? And if you then do it, do you just use your 4 fingers and the extra thumb and, so to speak, abandon the natural thumb? Or can you also use always all 6 fingers for that?
The robotic third thumb is strapped to a user's right hand next to the little finger and controlled by electric signals generated when the pianist moves their foot. And now in the USA. Alphabet Inc.'s Waymo has started taking a few San Franciscans on rides in its self-driving sport utility vehicles and hopes to open the robo-taxis to anyone in the city.
Today, we're taking the next step of within our San Francisco testing program with the announcement of Waymo One Trusted Tester. This is a research-focused initiative where select members of the public will be able to take Waymo for their everyday mobility needs and give us feedback along the way.
The launch followed 3 years of testing, but Kansara said he hopes lessons learned from that experience will bring about swifter progress in San Francisco.
Let's get Kira with the mic.
Adelaide-based theatre performer Joanna Hart-Stone was better prepared than many for August Festival Bonanza, as lockdown delays have meant that Edinburgh Fringe coincides for the first time with Hollywood's rival event.
Because of COVID, obviously live performance has been really difficult to achieve for a multitude of reasons. So we have pivoted into the digital world and we are embracing hybrid digital theatre, which means theatre for a live audience, both in the room and also online, watching from home or wherever they may be in the world.
They both hope this new way of working will make theatre more accessible and able to compete in the growing streaming space.
OnlyFans became popular during the COVID-19 pandemic, and it seemed like adult entertainers were mostly using it to market their work and to make some money. But they've said that they'll be blocking that kind of content as they now want to appeal more to your fitness trainers and your other content creators. So this week, our Twitter poll is asking you if you think whether there's space for that kind of video content creation, as we do have YouTube and other platforms for that. OnlyFans has backtracked on this because of public pressure, but when we did our poll, 43% of those that responded said yes, there is space for such platforms. There's 30% who said no, there isn't, and 27% of you feel that you aren't really sure about all of this. Right, and that's it. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Remember to wear that face mask in crowds, sanitize or wash your hands frequently. From me, Spumelele Zondi and the rest of the team in sunny Johannesburg. Have a good one. Bye-bye.